Okay, here we go with the start, the actual lesson stuff. So we're gonna try, the two things here, and like I mentioned in a couple emails ago, so you can use, how much time you have in practice session to kind of alter how much time you're going to spend on these things. But first, one thing to do if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure you watch that video on how to practice your lessons, because that's going to go over like all the principles needed in order to approach this stuff the best way possible. But since you've already read that Metronome Method ebook, you know a lot already. So that's good, because that's basically the idea we're doing here, focusing on perfect practice, not just, playing and then hoping it finally gets better someday, which you already addressed, you brought up, so that's good. That's a big mistake a lot of people continue to make. They just keep playing and hope that someday, it'll just correct itself. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. So what I have here, time limit stuff for you, is maximum time. Maximum time is spend 15 minutes working this up as fast as you can. That's for numbers 1 and 2. So a total of 30 minutes working these things up as fast as you can. And then after the 15 minutes is reached, then you're going to start adding in repetitions. So basically, you're looking at 30 to 40 minutes max for both of these when you have like a lot of time to work on things. When you have like a more restricted day to practice, what I'd like you to do is, or try doing, is 10 minutes working it up as fast as you can. And then after the 10 minutes, then you start adding in repetitions. So it should be like 20 to 30 minutes maximum for one of the shorter days. And also make sure that, in addition to this, you still work on other things that you have fun playing. So sometimes students will think, like, oh, I'm only supposed to play the stuff that you give me. I'm not focusing on anything else but this. And then what ends up happening is like, man, I'm getting really sick of just doing nothing but these things. It's like, well, yeah, do the other stuff too. Do the fun stuff too. Some people just have a blast playing these things, which is great. But, you want to write your own material, play other things that you have fun doing, song stuff, whatever. Do that for sure. Make sure you keep doing the fun stuff as well. I always recommend just get this stuff done first and then move on to whatever else you want to work on after that. So when it comes time for you to record stuff, what I ask you to do is record the entire final practice session that you're going to do before you turn everything in. So this way I can see how things are at the beginning, like in the middle, at the end. So I don't always watch the entire thing, but the reason why I want you to record the entire thing is because sometimes what happens is when someone gets to the faster speeds, they're no longer playing things correctly. So that's when I go back to the middle and start looking to see where is it falling apart. Like, what speed do things start to go away? And then I can come up with a plan to help you, smooth it out, fix it up. So yeah, record the whole thing, including the repetitions at the end, because this is also going to tell me that you understand exactly how to practice, what we're looking for, because I want to make sure that you get the most out of your practice sessions too. So yeah, just the whole thing. Because we got the two things, often what people will do when they have two things is they'll make two separate videos, and that's fine. You can do one whole video, that's fine as well. Keep things simple for yourself. And let's see. So yeah, watching that video on how to practice your lessons, that's what you want to do. Trying to think, is there anything else before I get to demonstrating these things? Yeah, one thing that has confused at least one person is the whole repetition thing. In that video on how to practice your lessons, I talk about playing things like this twice, then 3 times, and then 4 times. We're not doing that now. We're going straight into 4 repetitions when it's time for the repeats. But like it also says on in these instructions here at the top, like if you feel you maxed out in less than 15 minutes, just go for the repeats right then and there. But you got to drop the speed like 10 or 20 beats per minute. Because if you had a true max speed, you're not going to be able to do repeats. That's just not possible. or if you did manage to play 4 times through on a max speed, you didn't reach a max speed. It just doesn't work that way. It's like doing a 1 rep max in the gym. It's like, well, if you could do 4 reps with that 1 rep max, that wasn't a 1 rep max. That was a 4 rep max. Anyway, so you're going to work this stuff up, no repeats, and then add in the repeats at the end. Now, that being said, here's an important thing. If you reach 240 beats per minute with number 1, as soon as you start trying to play 240, start recording it, because you might get it. And if you're nailing this at 240 before next week, before it's time to record the final practice session, just send that in, and I'll say we're going to move on already. Because if you're already playing this at 240 in less than a week, we're moving on. Same thing with number 2. If you reach 240 and you're going to go attempt to practice it, start recording it right there, because you might get it. And send that in, and we'll verify it and make sure, like, yep, you actually did. You played it right where it needs to be. And then typically I won't be able to get new videos out until it's Thursday anyway, just because the schedule's like, it's ridiculous. It's full, which is a good thing. But what I will do is let you know, like, yes, we can move on. Like, say you get number 1, but you haven't got number 2 yet. I'll say, yes, number 1 is good. Just focus on everything on number 2. And then if you get everything done in early, I will do my best to get at least a Guitar Pro file made and sent over. It's like, okay, so you got Guitar Pros, you know how it sounds. You're like, all right, here's a Guitar Pro file. Go ahead and start working on this early, and then come Thursday, I will make a video for it then, plus the other material that needs to be done. So I hope that makes sense. At any time you got any questions with what I'm talking about, please let me know. Okay, here we go. Number 1. So a lot of quarter notes, couple eighth notes. One thing we're going to do is get used to syncing the hand and the foot up along with the metronome. So basically, if it's a down beat, like when the metronome clicks, we're going to strum down. When it's an upbeat, we're going to strum up. And as we get into more and more complex rhythms, this thing right here is to help visualize how things are laid out. So that's the typical way of counting eighth notes. Your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so all the numbers are the downbeat. That's when the metronome's clicking. The ands, those are the upbeats. That's in between the metronome clicks. So if you were to strum constant eighth notes, you'd be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to get used to that nice flowy down up motion. So another thing we're going to be doing is counting. We're going to be counting out loud for a lot of things. So also we count, for the most part, we say out loud what it is we're playing. And I'm going to demonstrate that. And especially when we get into more and more complex stuff, it becomes more and more important that you count these things out loud. Say it out loud as you play it. So what I want you to do, including the videos that you make, to show me that you understand it and you're doing it, from 60 to at least 120, you're going to count out loud while you play, just as I'm about to demonstrate. So yeah, fairly simple rhythm right now. This is to help lock into that metronome, get you used to it. And one of the most helpful things I was taught is, especially at the slow speeds, you want to think about coming in a split second late. That often puts you right where you need to be with the metronome. So a big mistake people make is they try and anticipate the click. And they think, all right, I got to make sure I hit it right when it clicks. And then they jump the gun. They end up playing it too early. So remember, the metronome is basically telling you when to play. It's the leader. It's telling you when to go. So you want to think about playing just a split second late, and that often puts you right where you need to be. So, play nice and laid back, really laid back on it. Oh yeah, and you also mentioned something about, or asked about the audio setup and whatnot when you're playing. I could hear everything for the most part. The metronome was a bit low on some things. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Like, if the metronome could be a bit louder, that would be very, very helpful. Or the guitar being quieter, for sure. Another thing is, like, the sound that you had, the tone you had, Is that the level of distortion you typically want to play with? If it is, no need to change anything. But if you want to play with the more heavy stuff, practice with that too. Yes, practice with the high gain distortion, because being able to mute strings that are not being played and keep it clean, that's important, and you can't really focus on that without enough distortion. So that's a whole other skill right there. All right, anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to count off 4 so you know when I'm going to play, and you can follow along to make sure everything is sounding correct. So again, back to the whole how to practice your lessons video. It talks about like starting at 60, 65, 70 and all that stuff. So again, make sure you watch it. I know I keep talking about it because it's so important. So yeah, I'm going to start at 60 and then do a few other speeds to demonstrate things. I want you to still go up in 5s as you play this. I'm going to be skipping all kinds of numbers there. If I went up in 5s for all these videos and whatnot, I'd never get done. All right, so 60 beats per minute to start. Always starting at 60. No repeats as we work it up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, done. Yes, the last note is a whole note. Technically, it should ring out 4 beats, but while working this up, don't worry about it. Just hit it and move on up. I'm also tapping my foot when I'm doing this. Tap your foot when you play. Super, super important. Tap the foot as much as you can. Getting used to that is going to be extremely helpful in improving your rhythm, improving the timing. As things get going faster and faster, what I sometimes do, or often do, is I'll tap my foot on like the 1st and 3rd beat instead of all 4. But if it's a really important thing I'm trying to play, even if it's like really, really fast, like tick, 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 I'll still be trying to tap my foot the whole time on every single beat. Anyway, so you notice I wasn't counting the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on the whole time. I only said what I'm playing on. So let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. And 4, done. All right, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it should go with the repeats. So 4 times through now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is easy to get lost on how many times you play it in these when you're doing the 4 repeats. So anytime I doubt if I'm on like the 3rd or 4th repetition, I just do another one just to make sure. So sometimes I end up doing it 5 instead of 4, but I'd rather do it 5 times instead of 3 because basically the idea is you work the thing up to a fast speed for you, and then you're going to like really drill that new speed in. So that's what the repetitions are for, to really help like get you used to and comfortable with that faster speed. Okay, number 2 here, more strumming involved, so a bit more counting or saying things out loud. Same idea though. So I'm going to start at 60 so you can follow along. Oops, the wrong thing selected. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4. Done. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, that's it for the first couple of things, and I think that covers it all. So yes, any questions come up, please let me know, and I will see you again in your new videos.